Hey guys and gals, James here with a quick little note. Next week, March 27th, 2022, is the night of the Oscars. We're going to watch it together using the brand new Cinereelists Discord, which has been around for a little while. Pretty much only Patreon supporters have known about it, but now we're opening it up for everybody. So if you'd like to watch the Oscars with us, be there or be square. If you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description of this podcast, either in your podcast app or on YouTube. We'll see you guys there. On to the show.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 522. My name is Zach.
My name is James.
And we're here to talk about movies, movie obsession, and movie lists with you for the next hour or so. James, it is great to have you on the show.
It's great to have you on the show.
Oh, I love it, James.
It's old school Cinereelist night.
It is. We are missing a familiar introduction at the beginning of the show. Kyle is not here today.
Right. I didn't hear why. I mean, it's his personal information, so he didn't volunteer it. I'm not prying for it if you know, but let's just leave it a mystery.
I do know.
Oh,
do you want
okay.
me to tell you, or would you?
I don't know.
should
Is
it
this
remain?
something you shouldn't reveal?
I mean, it might be breaking a trust. You know, it's personal information. It's a little embarrassing.
Well, we
I
don't.
would say a lot embarrassing.
We don't normally give each other's personal information out on the podcast air, but I think I'll make an exception this time.
I think that's right. It's a way that people can get to know Kyle a little bit better.
Sure.
Especially since he's not here, to just be let in on the extremely embarrassing reason why he's not here tonight.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Give
You can
me
make 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Karate tournament.
It's-
Or not
you know what,
karate,
that's a-
whatever he
That's
does.
a great guess. He doesn't do karate, so it would be surprising if he was at a tournament, but I wouldn't put it past him. I would not.
Whatever he does. What does he do? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament.
He does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
And can I actually brag on him for a second?
Sure.
And I'm probably going to get the details of this wrong. So he is now a first-degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Or
Wow.
something akin to, he just you can add black stripes onto a different colored belt, and he got his first black stripe. So I think that makes him a black belt.
So wait, he's a colored belt with a black stripe.
Yes, that is what I believe. Yes.
That makes you a black belt? I thought you literally had to have a black belt to be a black belt.
I think he's considered a first degree black belt because he has that stripe.
Is a full black belt like a third degree black belt? Isn't first degree like the highest?
No. Okay, so here's how it works.
Okay.
He got his first black belt stripe. Okay, so you get one little stripe, and then every 3 years you get a stripe a year.
Okay.
And then you get one at 4 years, and then one at 7 years. So it'll take him 7 years to become a 4th degree black belt.
Okay.
I think is how that works.
Interesting.
So basically, all you need to know is that it's going to be a long time before he's going to impress you with how he describes his belt color. But you shouldn't pick a fight with him.
Well, I wasn't planning on it. But now that you mention it, I will I'll watch my P's and Q's.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, what's your second guess?
Second guess is coronavirus is waning, I would say, at least for the moment. And so I believe maybe Kyle went to a live event. Maybe, I don't know, the Great British Bake Off live on stage. Something like that.
Okay, so you think he's at the Great British Bake Off live on stage in
I don't think he's on
England.
stage. No, it's an American tour.
Oh, they're doing one?
Well, since they're all popular on Netflix, they're like more popular than ever these days.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And they just kind of bake in front of people on stage.
Yeah. You know that one guy, Noel, from the Great British
Yeah.
Bake Off?
Yes.
He was on Taskmaster. And
Yeah.
I've watched Great British Bake Off, and I like Noel's just a odd looking dude on Great British Bake Off. On Taskmaster, he's amazing. Like I became such a big fan of him the season he was on.
Nice. I have
He's
not seen that season.
he's still just a weird dude to me, but he's so much fun to watch on that show.
Do you know how you knew about him before Great British?
He was in a band, but I don't know
Yeah,
what band.
he was in a band, but he was also in a early viral video.
Really?
Yes. I don't know if you've seen it, but I definitely unfortunately saw it. He was Old Greg. Did you ever see that video?
Old Greg.
Yeah.
Is this from Mighty Boosh or whatever? Wasn't he on that too or something?
Perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. This would have been in like 2001-ish.
Here comes Old Greg from the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how I knew him.
I don't recognize this.
Okay. Well, I found it disturbing. I never liked it.
I just remember the few episodes I've seen of Great British Bake Off. He's on there, and it never made sense to me why he was on there because he's like not a cook at all. You know what I mean? Not a baker. He's just like some guy who looks totally different from all the contestants and all the other judges. He's completely out of place visually, and he had kind of muted opinions about things when it comes to baking too. So I was like, what are they doing with this? And then then I saw him on Taskmaster and I was like, okay, I understand. He's just a really charming, odd guy and people like him.
Yes. And that's the quality you need to have to be a host on Great British Bake Off. As someone who's watched every season, they've gone through a lot of different hosts, co-hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always just likable, extremely cheesy people. Like people that make just really cheesy jokes and just have a good time and don't know anything about baking. And it's funny because you see them learn about baking as the season goes on, and they make more insightful jokes later on.
The season of Taskmaster that he's on, it's him and another host from Great British Bake Off, like an older lady. I wish I could remember her name. It's gonna be a cliffhanger because there's no way I'm gonna be able to pull it. Mel Drake, something like that.
Is this the one that hosted QI?
QI. What is QI?
The quiz. It's a British quiz show.
Mel Drake. That's who I'm thinking of. Mel.
Yeah, that's
GEI. She hosted Light Lunch, Great British Bake Off, Mel and Sue, and Let It Shine, whatever those things are.
Yes, she was a host for sure.
All right.
That is not the reason he's not there.
Okay. My last and final guess is laser light showing of 2001: A Space Odyssey. He was maybe the only format he hasn't seen it in yet.
Yeah. Laser light show version. Not exactly sure what that even means, but I don't believe that's what he's doing.
Okay.
The actual answer is he's on vacation with his wife for spring break with his in-laws.
I mean, that's good for him, but it's a pretty boring answer here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed in him, even though he's not here and has done nothing wrong.
Yeah. Well, he's in jail. He is in jail.
Oh, okay. He's in jail with his family and his mother-in-law.
Yeah, it was a mass arrest. Yeah.
All right. I'm into
we shouldn't
it
go
now.
any further into that. Yeah.
What a plot twist.
Well, Kyle, you'll be missed. James, it's nice to relive the old days with just you and me.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we could have done this in the same room. Didn't really think about it.
You live like 10 minutes from me.
I know. And here we are speaking on Zoom for no reason whatsoever.
It didn't even occur to me, James.
Me neither.
Didn't
I
even
drove-
think about it.
I was in Georgia last episode. Since then, I've returned. I actually drove home today. It took me 10 hours when it should have taken me 8.5 because of traffic on I-75. And have you ever driven so much that when you get out of the car, you just feel like you're swimming constantly?
I would not describe it as that. I've driven so much that I felt strange when I get out of the car. Is that good enough?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's. I mean, I would describe this as swimming, but feeling strange, I guess, makes sense to me too, because this feels strange. But I still feel it. So if I have to run to the bathroom and vomit, that's why. 'Cause I'm seasick
Okay.
from all the start and stop driving.
I won't take it personally.
All right, good.
In a
Or
couple
should I do it
weekends,
on
I'm going
camera?
up-
We need to go viral, so I might just do it on camera. We can put it on YouTube.
No, thank you.
You don't think that would make us go viral?
I don't think it would.
If I vomited,
Unless it was particularly interesting.
7 minutes into a
vomiting.
podcast.
You could try it.
Yeah. Let's just fake it. Just to
Might as well. Yeah.
Right, for sure.
What if that's your signature move?
I would hope
podcast?
not. Oh, that would give you a messed up throat for sure.
It would.
What a gross topic, Zach. Why'd you even bring that up? So
I shouldn't.
let's jump into the the thing we do at the beginning of every show. It's housekeeping. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Search Cinereelists, find us there, and listen to us while you watch us. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Support the Patreon, get extra after show audio. Leave us an Apple podcast review. I was looking at the website, the Cinereelists website earlier today.
Okay.
And I didn't realize this, but did you know there's a page that tells people how to leave a review for Apple Podcasts? Like there's an entire page dedicated to that.
That's awesome.
I'm sure we did that at some point in the past years ago, and then I forgot it existed. So
How to review? I'm looking at it right now.
I don't even know if it's accurate because I don't know how
wrote
long
this.
ago that was. Probably
You
I'm
wrote
sure.
you wrote this.
I'm
I would
sure
never have
probably
an 11 point to-do list.
Well, it used to be
Should be-
really hard. I don't know if that's even accurate anymore. It
I like
used
how
to
you have-
require an 11 point, process.
You wrote this for someone who has never held a piece of technology in their hand before.
I just wanted to be specific.
You are so specific.
I wanted
That's
to remove
amazing.
all barriers.
Yeah.
So if you've never left an Apple podcast review for us or any other podcast really, and you need some directions, you could try that page on the Cinereelists website, although I can't guarantee that's still the process. Because I don't
That's
know how old
amazing.
that is. But yeah, we need Apple Podcast reviews. If you haven't done that yet, please do. Also, you can send us a listener email to heyguys@cinereelist.com, REEL with an S on the end. Send us a comment, a question, a list suggestion, a movie suggestion, any of those kinds of things, and we will discuss it on the podcast. Well, Kyle is not here, but he is here in spirit because he sent along his Oscar nominations. So that's what we're going to do today, Zach. We're just going to go over Kyle's nominations one by one. No.
For an hour or so.
Right. No, we're going to go over our own Oscar nominations and include Kyle's.
Okay.
Because he's here in spirit. Yeah, so the Oscars are in 1 week. And are you getting excited yet?
I haven't thought about it. Are they only in a week? Wow.
Next Sunday,
Okay.
yeah. Exactly a week.
I've got to watch Drive My Car.
I do as well. Since we're talking about it the next podcast, that'd be a good idea to watch that.
It's the only Oscar nominated film I haven't seen yet.
Period or Best Picture Oscar nominated?
Best Picture.
Best
serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the documentaries. I've only seen one, which seems crazy to me. Although if you were to watch Flea, you'd knock out a bunch of these categories as far as like things you've only watched one of.
And Flea has been recommended to us.
Yes. Yes, it has. I don't even know. Is it available? Like,
Yeah.
readily available? What is it? A Hulu thing?
It's
Probably.
Probably Hulu. Hulu's yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it there. All right, let's talk Oscar nominations. Whenever we go through these, we kind of give a pick for what will win and what we would rather want to win. So when we tally up scores at the end, we can tell points wise if we had just gone with our gut, would we have done better than what we thought the Oscar nominating / voting people would have picked? Let's go through these. I have Kyle's in front of me. Is it okay if I just lead with Kyle's pick on all of these? Is that helpful?
It is helpful and okay.
Okay. First up, first category, we have actor in a leading role with nominations by Javier Bardem. With nominations going to Javier Bardem being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield, Tick Tick Boom, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Kyle picked Will Smith for Will and Want. And
Ooh.
I also picked King Richard for Will and Want.
Wow. Okay.
Where
I will
did you
say
go?
most years I kind of do my research. I kind of see where the buzz is for these categories. This year I did not do that at all.
Okay.
So I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here.
Oh, this is a blind pick.
Yeah. I said I
Okay.
want Will Smith to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Benedict Cumberbatch will win.
Okay. I feel like this is Will Smith's year. I don't know why.
Okay.
I feel like he's been nominated 2 times, maybe.
Okay.
He definitely got nominated for Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
I can't remember what other time he might have been nominated, but definitely got it for that one. Oh, Concussion? I think he got a nomination for Concussion, even though nobody cared about that movie. But he was good in it.
Okay. Nice. Good.
You remember that line? Tell the truth. Or whatever he says. Even if you don't remember the movie, you remember that line from the trailer. Do you want to bounce on reading the nominees?
Sure.
Okay.
For actress in a leading role, the nominees are Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. I said Kristen Stewart should win, but I think that Olivia Colman is going to win.
Okay. Nice. On these, I thought Kristen Stewart will win, but I want Olivia Colman to win.
Nice.
Kyle, on the other hand, thinks Jessica Chastain will win, and Kristen Stewart is who he wants to win.
Okay.
I feel like Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I don't know. I hear zero buzz about that movie, so I don't know. I mean, he did say will, so
she's good in it.
Yeah. But is the rest of the movie good enough to like put her over the top? Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
I haven't seen it, so I can't judge whether it's good or bad. But the early buzz I've heard from you and you only makes me think she won't win.
Well, we'll see.
All right, next category: actor in a supporting role. Ciaran Hinds, I think is how you might say that. Troy Kotsar, Ciara Hinds from Belfast, Troy Kotsar from Coda, Jesse Plemons from Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons from Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee from The Power of the Dog. Kyle wants and thinks will go to Troy Kotsar, and I agree. Both.
I want Cody Smith-McPhee from Power of the Dog to get this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Troy Kotsar will.
Nice. So a lot of hopes in Troy Kotsar for this category.
For actress in a supporting role, Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Judi Dench for Belfast, Kristen Dunst for The Power of the Dog, and Ellis for King Richard. And I wanted Angelou Ellis to win, and I think Kirsten Dunst will win.
Okay. Kyle says he wants Ariana DeBose from West Side Story to win, and he also thinks she will win.
Okay.
And I want Kirsten Dunst from The Power of the Dog to win, and I also think she will win.
Nice.
Because she's been in Hollywood her entire life, and I think this is the first like serious Oscar nomination. I know she got nominated for Interview with a Vampire like forever ago, but she was a little kid. So I wouldn't say she's Hollywood elite, but I think she's Hollywood respected. And so I think they might give it to her. Plus, Power of the Dog has a lot of steam. So they got to win some of these categories for sure.
Yep.
Next up, we have original screenplay with the nominees being Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World. Kyle said he wants Licorice Pizza to win, but he thinks Worst Person in the World will win, which seems like an odd pick for Will.
That seems like an odd pick for me as well. I want Licorice Pizza to win, but I think Belfast will win.
That's exactly what I said. Yep. We're in sync on that one.
Possibly King Richard, but I'm going with Belfast.
What do you think the chances are that we're dead wrong and Don't Look Up wins this just because Hollywood, you know?
I absolutely would not put it past them. And I'll be annoyed. It'll be a like roll your eyes moment, I think.
Yeah. It'll be one we're talking about for a while. That's like, remember that year they gave screenplay to Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
All right.
Adapted screenplay. Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, and The Power of the Dog. I wanted Coda to win, and I think The Power of the Dog will win.
That's how I feel about it as well. Exactly. And Kyle thinks Power of the Dog will win, but he'd rather have Dune win. That's his want for this.
That shocks me.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't like Dune that much, and he loved Coda.
If they had fit the entire Dune story in one movie, I would say absolutely. If you can adapt that, you get an Oscar. But they didn't do that. They wussed out and split it in two. The worst. Next category. International feature. We've got Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Luana, A Yak in the Classroom. No clue what that is. And The Worst Person in the World. I have only seen one of these so far, and I will and want Drive My Car to win, even though I haven't seen it yet.
You would prefer it win over the one you've seen.
Over the one I've seen. And Kyle says Drive My Car will win, and he wants Flee to win. I'm assuming he's seen it by now.
Why?
I mean, because he has more integrity than I do.
I think Worst Person in the World will win, and I also want it to win.
All right.
I think it has a more memorable cover than any of the other films, and I think that will push it over the top.
Oh, you think the Academy voters won't actually watch these movies? They're just going to judge them by the covers?
Yes.
That's how I judge my movies, so makes sense.
It's a part of it. For animated feature, Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Raya and the Last Dragon. Can't believe Raya and the Last Dragon came out this year.
No, it feels like a lifetime ago.
I would love for Luca to win, but I think Encanto will definitely win. Definitely.
All right. According to Kyle, Flea, he wants to win and will win.
Oh, wow.
He's definitely seen Flea. Otherwise, he wouldn't do that. And I say Encanto will win, and I would love it if the Mitchells versus the Machines won. That'd be awesome.
You do feel that way. You do feel that way. I was going to shake my head no, but then I nodded my head yes, because you would love that.
Speaking of Raya and the Last Dragon, on the last Patreon, Kyle and I played that like Wordle-esque movie game with the box office. We played that together. And I don't know if you listened to it, but the date that they were having us play against was like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And my movie math just could not be more off as far as when movies came out.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I mean?
funny.
Because normally you can, like, if you're thinking, is it the original or the sequel, you can kind of think about where the
Yeah.
original was and then add 3 years and stuff like that. But I was off consistently by like 2 or 3 years, whether
Is that 'cause
something
of the
was in
pandemic?
sequel. I don't know. I just had no concept of when things came out at all. I was always a year or two off on everything for some reason. So I don't know if that's going to continue, if it's a pandemic trend or just a normal trend, but
That's
it's
funny.
something for sure.
Yeah.
Next category, documentary feature. We've got Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, and Writing with Fire. I have only seen Summer of Soul. 3 of these I've never even heard of. I mean, I've heard of the continent of Africa, but not the documentary feature Africa.
None of
And
them are called Africa.
what?
None of them are called Africa.
Oh, Attica. Sorry, it's small printing.
Which wasn't that a prison? And
It is a prison, yeah, not
Yeah.
a continent. All right. Well, I've heard of Attica, not the documentary, but the prison. So I will give my will and my want to Summer of Soul, and Kyle wants Summer of Soul, but thinks Flea will win.
He's really behind Flea.
Mm-hmm. Evidently, he likes it.
My will and want is Summer of Soul.
Okay.
Of which I've seen the first half.
You only watched half of that? Oh, it gets so much better as it goes.
It's
like a
great. I loved
history
it.
lesson at the beginning, and then it gets way better than that.
I really like it.
Sure. You like the first quarter. You can't say you like the whole thing. You've never seen the whole thing.
I didn't say I like the whole thing. I said I like it. The movie with the clown.
You like that movie?
Yeah. Love it.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Yeah. Chapter
Okay.
2, garbage.
Well, you haven't seen it, so you can't say.
No, I didn't say anything about it. I just
You said it was garbage.
No, I said the word garbage.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I'm looking at my trash can right here.
It's just a random
And,
word that spurred into your brain. You just spouted it out. No context whatsoever. Gotcha.
James, I know lots of words.
All right.
Let's talk about original score for a second.
All right.
Don't Look Up apparently had an original score. Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. And Parallel Mothers is a movie that I've only heard of by reading this list.
Okay.
I know, I think, Penelope Cruz is in it. Is that right?
Yes, because she's nominated for it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I would love for Dune to win, but I think Encanto will win.
Interesting. I would say there's a good chance that The Power of the Dog will win, and I would also want it to win. Kyle would rather Dune is the movie he wants to win, and he thinks Parallel Mothers will win. I don't know.
Why does he think that?
That's also another odd pick, I would say, because Parallel Mothers.
He has not
doesn't
seen
have a lot
that
of
movie.
steam.
He doesn't know anything about the movie. Are you sure? This makes me think that he was doing his research and he read somewhere that Parallel Mothers is a good shot.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. That's not against the rules, doing your research.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not. It's
Just because
absolutely
you
not.
and I didn't do it. Parallel Mothers is a Pedro Almodovar movie.
Ooh, I do like him.
Yeah. He made like Volver and The Skin I
Volver.
Live In. Volver?
Yeah.
Is it Volver?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
That's a Spanish word.
Oh, I don't know Spanish, so.
I do. Volver.
All right. You say so.
Volver is like how you'd say it in English, I guess, like revolver. But
I guess. It is how you pronounce it in English. I agree.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we have original score Be Alive from King Richard. Dos Orguitas from Encanto. Down to Joy. Belfast. No Time to Die from the movie No Time to Die. Somehow You Do from 4 Good Days. Is that a movie? 4 Good Days?
Never heard of that.
Never heard of that either. According to Kyle, the Encanto song will win, and he wants it to win. And I am going to agree with that.
I thought the song from Encanto will win, but for some reason I picked No Time to Die that I want to win.
You remember that song?
No.
Do you even remember who sings that song?
No. Is it Billie Eilish?
It is Billie Eilish, yes.
I take back my no. Yes. I remember who sings that song.
Okay. I mean, really the only reason I remember that is because she released it as a single because the movie was going to come out and then the pandemic happened and it was out for like a year and a half before the movie came out. It took forever for that movie to finally come out in theaters. Cinematography, what do we got?
Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. I want The Tragedy of Macbeth to win because I enjoyed the cinematography of that film. I also enjoyed it of Dune, but I want Tragedy to get it. I think it's going to West Side Story, though.
Really?
I do.
Interesting. I think The Power of the Dog is going to take a lot of these. So both Kyle and I think Power of the Dog will win this, and both of us selected Dune for want. I didn't love Dune, but the cinematography in Dune is awesome for a sci-fi movie, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next up, costume design. We've got Cruella, Cyrano. I knew I had that wrong. Dune, Nightmare Alley, or West Side Story. Kyle wants and thinks will win West Side Story. I think will win West Side Story, but I would love it if Nightmare Alley won one award, even if it's just for costume design.
I want West Side Story to win. I think Dune will win.
Okay. I could see it.
For editing, Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, The Power of the Dog, Tick, Tick, Boom.
Speaking of which, there's another movie I want to take home at least one.
Something, yeah.
But I don't think I gave it anything, not even a will.
I gave it I want Tick, Tick, Boom to win editing because I liked how it switched between different narratives in editing. I thought that it did that well, but I think Power of the Dog will take it for no great reason.
You know what, Zach? You've convinced me. I'm changing my will. You've changed the will of me.
Yeah. I've influenced your will.
No, wait, not will. You changed my want.
Okay.
Will is still going to be Power of the Dog. It's going to win for editing, and I would be pleasantly surprised if Tick Tick Boom won for editing. According to Kyle, both the movie he wants and thinks will win is King Richard. Again, an odd choice, in my opinion. But maybe he knows something we don't.
He must love the editing of that film.
Yeah. Especially the tennis scenes. He loved the editing of the tennis scenes.
Editing on tennis, that is important.
That's what makes it feel so real.
When do you cut to the other side of the net?
Do you cut when they're anticipating the ball coming to them or when they're hitting the ball to the other person?
Yeah, it's an important one.
Lots of choices.
More important, makeup and hairstyling.
Mm-hmm.
Hairstyling. Okay, so Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. So I think House of Gucci will take it, not because I've seen this movie, But
Mhm.
I've heard that someone's in this movie and looks nothing like said someone. So I think that's good enough.
Okay.
But I think the Eyes of Tammy Faye should get it because they went from like 16 years old to 70 years old. And it was very, very convincing.
All right. The Eyes of Tammy Faye is the only movie on this list of 5 that I haven't seen. And according to Kyle, it's the leader in Want and Will for him.
Wow. Okay.
And for me, House of Gucci. That movie, both the makeup and the hairstyling was amazing.
You loved the hairstyling of that one.
I did. Yeah.
You did. Who's the person I'm thinking of that does not look like themselves?
Jared Leto.
Okay.
Jared Leto, like halfway through the movie, I was like, I thought Jared Leto was in this movie. And then that's when it dawned on me that he had been in the movie all along.
I think nominated should be the Batman. Although I guess the Batman came out this year.
Yeah, that would be next year.
Okay. But
I
I was
wouldn't be
impressed by the
shocked
Penguin.
if Batman made this list just because of Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Right?
He's unrecognizable for sure. All right, next up we got production design. Nominees: Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, or West Side Story. Kyle wants Dune to win, but thinks Power of the Dog will win. I also think Power of the Dog will win, but I'd prefer if Tragedy of Macbeth won because
Nice.
production design in that movie was starkly awesome.
I could absolutely go with that, James. I did put Dune as a want to win because I thought if a Dune movie's going to fail, it's because of the production design.
Mhm.
And they managed to not fail because of that reason.
All right.
For sound, Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. I want Dune to win, and I think Belfast will win.
Okay. Kyle thinks Dune will win and he wants it to win. I also want it to win, but I think, again, Power of the Dog will win just because it's got to rack up at least
Yeah.
7 or 8 of these.
And it's amazing sound.
Hey, I rewatched it this week and I liked it more the second time.
How was the sound? Did you hear it?
I don't know. I could hear it. I'm not sure the sound blew me away, but I don't remember the soundtrack being as awesome as it kind of is.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, like the string, like I don't think I realized the strings were like very horror movie esque in the first go around. I think maybe I noted it, but not this time. I had time to focus on things that weren't like just the weirdness of the plot of this Western without a single bullet or gun in it. Because I was kind of expecting, no spoilers here, but I was expecting it to go typical Western kind of at the end, maybe darker than your typical Western. It doesn't do that. So when you're watching it the second time, you don't have to think about when those things are coming, and you can notice some of the other interesting things the movie has to offer. So, not sure sound would be one of those, but the score, yes. Next up, visual effects. Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Both Kyle and I want and will for Dune.
I want Shang-Chi because I just thought that movie was awesome.
You think the special effects in Shang-Chi are better than Dune?
I think the visual effects are better than Dune. No, I don't know if it. No, I don't know if they're better. I want it to win an Oscar. How about that?
Okay. All right.
This is want to win. Okay. And I want it to win an Oscar for best visual effects. And I don't feel that bad about Dune not winning it. So for my want to win is Shang-Chi. My will win, I put Spider-Man because I think that everyone in the Academy would have seen Spider-Man and they wanted it to get an award. And it's the only thing it's nominated for.
I mean, it's not bad logic. but I think Dune's more respected because Dune's like a sci-fi art film in ways. So,
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve.
Yep. All right, next up, animated short. Kyle notes he has not seen any of these. Neither have I. So it's a blind guess. Affairs of the Art. Bestia.
Bestia,
Bestia.
probably.
Box Ballot, Robin Robin, and the Windshield Wiper.
Did you say box ballot?
Box Ballet?
That's what I'm thinking.
Box Ballet. It's one word. I mean,
no, box ballot. Absolutely.
Could go either way.
Yeah, box ballot.
According to Kyle, he thinks Bestia will, and I think Robin will.
Yeah,
for no reason whatsoever.
I definitely want Robin to win the Oscar.
Okay.
But I think Affairs of the Art will, because that sounds cheesy.
Sure. I gave will and want to Robin because
Nice.
No reason whatsoever. Just because I like the title.
I love the title.
Mm-hmm.
For live action short, there's A la Kachu, there's The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, and the only one I've heard of, Please Hold.
Mm-hmm.
And I want Please Hold to win because it actually sounds like a pretty good premise. Have you heard of this one?
No.
Guy wakes up, he's in a prison, but the prison is all like, there's no humans there. It's all automated with computers.
Mm-hmm.
And, but he didn't do anything wrong. So he's falsely imprisoned. So he's basically there by mistake. And so he's like, can I talk to someone like a human and explain myself? Because this computer that's like walking me through this like 20-year prison term, like thinks that I'm guilty, but it's clearly a mistake. Can I just talk to a person? And he can't talk to a human being. So it's the aggravation of like, automated systems.
But in the prison system.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think The Long Goodbye will win.
According to Kyle, who again has not seen any of these, neither have I, The Long Goodbye will win. And I say it will as well. And also I want it to, based on the title alone.
Great.
Next up, documentary short. Once again, Kyle hasn't seen any of these, neither have I. Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies. Kyle says The Queen of Basketball will win. I say will and want When We Were Bullies, because if anybody knows anything about me, it's that I'm anti-bully. Which is a callback to a conversation nobody listening to this has heard.
But James is very passionate against bullies.
For sure.
He always has been. There's one thing you know about him.
Especially when it comes to phones.
And consumer decisions, yes.
Yeah.
I think that the Queen of Basketball will win. But I want Lead Me Home to win.
Okay. Because you like the title?
It just sounds so noble.
Okay. Sure.
Lead Me Home.
Sure.
Director. You're like waiting for me to do the category and I just have to cough, James. Okay. Director. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. And Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. And I think that Jane Campion will win this. Even though she's kind of been, a little bit in the news for putting her foot in her mouth at some award ceremony last week. I think all of these votes came in before that happened. So they're still riding the Jane Campion train.
Really? I hadn't heard what she said.
So she was at some award ceremony. She won for Best Director. And she said, I want to applaud like King Richard and all of its success and like the Williams sisters. But unlike them, I had to play against the boys. And so it's great that I beat them in my arena or something like that. And people were upset that she's disparaging the Williams victory as just like she beat other women, but really they weren't playing against the men. And that's how much more difficult is what Jane Campion implied.
Interesting.
Anyways, I think Jane Campion will win, but I want Paul Thomas Anderson to win.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Next up,
What about you?
Oh, wait. Yeah. I need to give you my director picks. I would say for Will and Want, I picked Jane Campion. That was before I knew she, disparaged the Williams sisters. So maybe I need to reevaluate that. But for now, I'm sticking with it. According to Kyle, Jane Campion will win, but he'd prefer it be a man, Paul Thomas Anderson. Not enough men have won Best Director.
Classic
according to
Kyle.
Yep. All right. Best Picture. There's a lot of these. We've got Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up Somehow, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. Lots to choose from. According to Kyle, Belfast will win, which
Wow.
that would be a dark horse win, I would say, at this point. But he wants Licorice Pizza to win. I would prefer that Nightmare Alley in the will category, which I guess, now that I think about it, is also a dark horse pick, I would say. I don't think Nightmare Alley's on any trajectory to win Best Picture. Probably should have thought of that one a little longer. But
that's what you picked for Best Picture?
That's what I picked
Nightmare
for
Alley.
Will. That's what I picked for Will.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see.
And
my want is, of course, Coda, my favorite movie from last year. I would love for that movie to win Best Picture. How about you?
I want Licorice Pizza to win.
Okay.
But I think The Power of the Dog will win.
All right.
I also
you're probably going to get this category because I don't think Belfast or Nightmare Alley is going to win. I think the percentage is in your bucket with Power of the Dog.
I think it's very uncommon for the same movie to win Best Picture and Best Director, and I picked both of them as Power of the Dog. So I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I put all my eggs in director for Jane Campion. And
James,
yes.
What are you doing for the Oscars? Do you want to come over and watch it?
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
We haven't. The last time you and I watched something together at your house was what?
No idea.
Trump winning the election.
Yeah, maybe. What? I mean, we watched that together.
I'm trying to think if we watched it. Were the DVD commentaries between then and now or before that?
Probably before.
Yeah. I'm sure we've watched something at your house together.
I would think. But who knows?
All right. Well, hopefully we can replace that memory with a new one. That was a long time ago, too. That was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Trying to think. We don't really watch things at your house. We do things at your house. We don't watch things. All right. Good pick, Zach. I'm proud of you.
I really thought this would take about 10 minutes.
I know. Me too. We always do. And it never does. Let's move on to our movie for this week. It's an animated movie from the studio Pixar. It's available right now on Disney Plus, and the name of the movie is Turning Red. We're going to talk about it right after this clip.
Fortown's coming to Toronto! What? It's just me. Shut up. It's okay. It's me. Calm down. All right? I'm gonna let go, and you're gonna be chill. Got that? Chill. May?
Are you a werewolf?
No. What?
He's a red panda.
Sick.
You're so fluffy.
You're so fluffy!
I've always wanted a tail.
Priya, Abby, quit it. May, what the heck happened?
It's just some, inconvenient, genetic thingy I got from my mom. I mean, it'll go away. Eventually. Maybe.
That was Turning Red, a 2022 American computer animated coming of age fantasy comedy. This is directed by Domi Shi, starring Rosalie Chiang, Sandra Oh, Ava Morse, Hein Park, Matrei, not going to try that one, Orion Lee, Wai Ching Ho, Tristan Alaric Chen, and James Hong, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Turning Red is a 13-year-old girl named Melon. That's not
Mel is
Mel.
what she goes by.
All right. A 13-year-old girl named Mel turns into a giant red panda whenever she gets too excited.
May? Is her name May?
The way IMDb spelled it was Mellin.
Huh. Malin?
They call her like May May, right? In the movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Malin. I think Malin sounds right.
Meilin. I said Mell. It's Mei.
Okay.
The eyes look like L's. All right. So this is a Pixar movie. Went direct to Disney Plus, much like Luca did. And they seem to be kind of like randomly choosing. Well, I guess most Pixar things have been going to Disney Plus because Soul went to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, a lot of vocal people were upset that Turning Red did not go to theaters. Maybe because theaters are more open now than they were when Luca and Soul were out. But this one went direct to Disney Plus. And what'd you think of it?
I want every Pixar film to go directly to Disney Plus.
I would not be against it either. Although there were times in this movie where I thought I really want to see this in Dolby in 3D.
Okay.
Like animated movies, particularly Pixar movies. I'm not a real big 3D buff, but animated 3D animated movies in 3D are always some of the coolest looking things in 3D. Like some of the only things that are worth it in 3D in my mind. And I do miss kind of a immersive theatrical 3D experience with these Pixar movies. Doesn't always work because I think I saw Onward in 3D in a movie theater, and like I didn't like that movie. 3D would not have saved it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite. Whereas I think this one, even though also not my favorite, I think visually it would have really been pretty cool in 3D in a theater. Anyway, what'd you think of Turning Red, Zach?
I liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't love it, but I liked it.
sure.
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the main character and her friend group quite a bit. It felt very real and genuine to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point where I could totally picture those as being real people. Like they felt like a real friend group to me, and I enjoyed them quite a bit. We don't need a spoiler section for this movie or anything like that. We can just chat about it generally, but I do think that it went a little off field towards the end.
Mhm.
Like things ratcheted up quite a bit as far as like the stakes and the grandeur of the story.
Mhm.
And that surprised me. I thought this was a smaller story than it turned out to be. And so I thought that went a little bit off kilter at the end. And so there's this big metaphor, right? So she turns into a red panda, right? And that's roughly akin to like the changes that you undergo during puberty. Okay, that's the rough metaphor.
Mhm.
I do feel like there was some muddiness in the metaphor usage in the movie. Sometimes it worked metaphorically, and sometimes I really couldn't see the connection or what they were trying to say. I felt like they lost the plot a little bit with like what the red panda was supposed to signify.
Mhm.
Sometimes it was just a parlor trick she could do, and it just didn't mean anything more than that.
Mhm.
And I don't know. But I enjoyed it visually quite a bit. I thought it looked great. I loved the red panda. It looked adorable.
Mhm.
This felt like a thoroughly modern Pixar film, like one grounded in like a more modern aesthetic rather than others which have more of like a timeless aesthetic to them.
Well,
So
I mean, they firmly planted in 2002. So relatively modern. We're talking 20 years ago now, but
yeah,
modern times, sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you guarantee that your cartoon characters don't have to be carrying cell phones? Set it in 2002.
Yeah, it's the perfect
Right,
perfect conceit, right?
for sure. Yeah, so in that way, there weren't any like pop culture jokes really, other than some of the boy
Boy
band type
band stuff,
stuff.
yeah.
But even that feels generic enough that it could be about boy bands that exist today.
Yeah. And she
Uh,
had a Kamagaji, right? Or
that's true. That does date it because I mean, I'm sure they still exist, but they're not exactly as popular as they were. But there's nobody like flossing or, well, there was a, uh, what do you call that? The dance where you shake your butt. You know what I'm talking.
twerking.
Twerking. There was a twerking scene in the movie, which is not
That was
something you.
at the climax of
Yeah.
the film.
Although I don't think
That-
they called it twerking, but
Probably, they wouldn't have. Yeah.
right. But it was a twerk for sure. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I also agree that I'm not, it's a kids movie, so it's hard to pick it apart because they weren't clear on the rules of the premise. But I do feel like they weren't clear about the rules in the premise. Like the plot synopsis says turns into a giant red panda when she gets too excited, which I agree, that's how they represent it. But I feel like the message of the movie was like control your panda, and there's good pandas and bad pandas, and you really like the whole movie she's expected to always suppress the panda, and I feel like the point of the movie was only suppress the angry panda. And the non-angry panda, the fun panda, that one you should preserve and allow out every now and then. I'm not quite sure that's a great message. I'm not sure that is the message. It's just the message I got from the movie was like, keep that angry panda quiet. Stuff them
Bottled up
down.
in your necklace.
Yeah. Literally go through life,
Yeah.
not letting people know you might be angry about something.
Right. And it also didn't apply to the mom, right? Who had stuffed her panda in her little necklace, but she got
Yes.
very angry. And can we agree that that mom did some things that were so shockingly awful
Mm-hmm.
that I thought that they were dream sequences when they were happening. And I was surprised that they ended up being true.
Sure.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No, towards the beginning, I thought a couple of those things were going to end up being dream sequences. And then when the moment happens in the school with the panda for the first time, I was like, oh, like this movie's not going to have dream sequences
Yeah.
because I kept waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm not sure that's the message of the movie, but that's the one I got. Is that roughly what you got too? That's
Man,
maybe the cynical way of translating the message, but
I got it was more like maybe some people will tell you you have to be a certain way.
mhm,
And so your obligation is to them and be the person they want you to be.
mhm,
But instead, be whoever you want to be. So if that is half human, half panda, be that. If it's all human, be that. If it's panda, I think that's the message I took from it.
mhm,
Is that you should decide for yourself how much of the panda you want to release.
mhm. Okay.
I think.
I could see that. But then why, when given the opportunity to either embrace some of their panda or not, did all the other women in the movie suppress it all again?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, there were moments in this movie where I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for, all the women to be like, I liked some of my panda and I'm going to keep
Yeah.
some of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And then one of them gets a new hairstyle and, that kind of thing.
absolutely. Yeah. It's just didn't make sense to me in the end as to how it, we won't go full spoilers, but how it completely worked out. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me that she's the only one that learned a lesson here and everybody else. I mean, the mother is like obsessed with the Tamagotchi at the end.
Right.
And I was like, why? Yeah. It's just, so she's reduced to that for the rest of her life is
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
There's this one scene where we get to see the mom as a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a lot going for it to hit those emotional notes,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so random and not built up to at all that it didn't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all that being said, it is a pretty charming movie, and I liked the character. I agree. The friend group was probably the strongest part of it, and was also the clearest message, as far as friendship goes. And I don't know if there's a deep message there, but just that um, her friends are so supportive, and even when she kind of does them wrong, they have her back, even if quietly. And I liked all that. And I felt like it was a good representation of like a girl friend group at that age. Potentially,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure not everybody had that great of an experience, but
But like the obsessiveness and the excitement, the
for sure.
shared persona, for sure.
Yeah, there's also a lot of, this isn't necessarily a criticism, just not something you normally see, is there's a lot of like uh kid on adult deviousness going on. I mean, they basically like raise enough money to go see an $800 concert amongst them in secret and then lie to their parents to go to the concert. Like all four
Yeah.
of them, which is
It
absolutely something you would see in, a coming of age movie from the 80s, a live action one. It's just not one you expect from a kid's cartoon.
Yeah. And so a common movie trope that usually annoys me a very small amount
Mhm.
is that almost every movie, if a money amount is mentioned, it's always really low.
Mhm.
Like they're gonna steal $600,000, or like something costs $80, and it's
Sure.
always like comically low, I think.
Mhm.
This movie is one of the very few that's like, no, that's a lot of money that these kids have to raise.
Yeah,
That's a high mountain to climb. Good luck.
for sure. Yeah, I also really love the visual of the panda itself. I thought it was like, and the characters too. They had a kind of an Artemin element to them. Like the friend group, the girl with the long face versus the girl with the round face, the girl with the, you know, horizontal oblong face. It was just very stylized. And the way their lips curled was not like any other human in another Pixar movie that I could remember. It kind of felt like it had a little bit of like an anime aspect to it, which I enjoyed. I thought it had a distinct visual style while being technically flawless on the screen. Like the fur is just out of this world at this point. It's almost so good that you don't notice it unless you really look for it at this point. And it's kind of amazing that they can do that. I'm curious, do you think Pixar ever would or should try to make a um what's the word? Like
Photorealistic
yeah,
human.
photorealistic movie. Do you think they could do it at this point if they wanted to?
So I will say they already do that with inanimate objects, right? So the set dressing of these films, some of them look exactly real, right?
Mhm.
It's always the living things that they intentionally don't make look photorealistic.
Mhm.
And I think that they will never make photorealistic humans. I think
Think
I could see them making a photorealistic like animated film of animals or something. but I don't think they'll do humans. I think I read that somewhere that it's one of their core beliefs that they'll never do that or something.
It's like an ethos
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
The other thing I noted about this one is I feel like we've definitely left the era of like, I know we left this a while ago, but I'm really feeling it, especially in this movie, that we're leaving the era of these are the 7 or 8 movies that Pixar had planned from the beginning.
Yeah. We left that a long time ago.
We've left that, and now we're in the era, interestingly, that when they bring a director in, like that director has their hand on the movie, and it's their version of a Pixar movie. I feel like maybe The Incredibles was the first one where I felt that, where I was like, oh, this is Brad Bird's Pixar movie type of thing. And I kind of felt it with Brave a little. And I really feel it in this one where it's like, I don't really know the director of this movie, but I feel like this is more what she wanted to do with a Pixar movie than like a movie made for all quadrants, adults, kids, boys, girls. I feel like this one had a specific vision and a specific perspective, and anybody that wants to jump on, great, but that's what they were making.
Yeah, I get the sense that now on a significant portion of Pixar movies are going to be they find a director that has a personal story to tell, and they're going to let them tell that story.
Yeah. Which I'm all for. But it also means that when there's going to be bigger swings, I would say, and not necessarily bigger swings budget wise, just storyline, and there's probably more chance that you're gonna find something that's not completely up your alley. Whereas when they were trying to hit everybody with every movie, even if you didn't like all of it, there was normally something in there for you, and there still is with this one. But I do think this movie was not made for a 44-year-old male in mind from day one.
Yeah.
And I still
James,
enjoyed it, which says something, but yes.
Which one of the Best Picture nominees would you like to see the Pixar remake?
Well, I'll have to look at it. You like remake, like scene for scene, line for line, or like
No,
they're
the
remade as
reimagining.
a kids movie?
Yeah, Pixar makes this film.
Well, I haven't seen Drive My Car, so I can't pick that one. I don't know. I mean, I think probably it would be really cool to see like a West Side Story remake.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be interesting as a Pixar movie. I think it's a classic story. It would work in animation as well. I don't think Power of the Dog would be appropriate as a kids movie. Probably not Nightmare Alley either.
Have they
Dune.
made a musical?
Dune would be awesome.
Is Coco Pixar?
Yeah,
That's a musical. Okay.
I think so. I'm trying to
I think Coda would fit well as Pixar.
Is Coco the only Pixar musical where the characters are singing all the songs?
I think it is.
I
Yes.
can't think of another one.
I think it is.
Like Finding Nemo, the turtle sings, but I don't think Nemo sings songs, does he?
The turtle sings in Finding Nemo?
Doesn't he? Or am I thinking
The
of something else?
stingray sings.
Okay, the stingray sings.
I don't think the turtle sings.
It's been a while.
Dory sings in Finding Dory.
That's true. She does. Does that make it a musical? One song?
No,
Where
it's not. No.
Right.
I think Coco.
Okay. That makes sense. Anything else with Turning Red? Would you recommend this to, what age would you recommend this to? Because it's kind of like, I think any age could watch it, but to get the most out of it, I think
Middle school.
Yeah, you kind of got to be in middle school.
I think middle school.
Was it
For
too kiddie to be middle school?
No, I think it hit the middle school note pretty well. And I will say this, there are very few kids movies that tackle puberty in such a straightforward way.
Yeah. I mean, at times it was like shockingly straightforward, and at other times it was so muddled as to be kind of like, wait, what are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
I think they intentionally drew blurry lines so that you couldn't tell um, what was what. But I think sometimes it got too blurry, like at the end with the pandas
What
and
was
where they
that?
went. I
Yeah,
don't
that was
know.
just that movie. I wasn't on board for that ending. It just came out of nowhere for me. But
Yeah. Again, I just don't think it's a super great lesson.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
bottling things up. I can't imagine that's what they wanted the message to be, but that's what came across to me. I wonder if you were to poll like kids, like age appropriate kids, if they would pull that or if they would just identify with the kid. You know what I mean? And forget what the adults in the movie did.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just too sensitive to the adults not getting any benefit from this journey. I don't know. If I had to pick a movie for Pixar to remake from the best pictures, it would be Dune. I would love to see a Pixar version of Dune. Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
There you go.
How about you?
Coda.
Coda? You'd have animated characters doing sign language between each other?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It'd be interesting. If anybody was to do it, it would be Pixar just to say they could do it. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's letterbox Turning Red. I gave it a 3.5.
I was gonna give it a 3.5, but after this discussion, I'll give it a 3.
Okay. A 3 and a 3.5 for Turning Red. I think before we get out of here, since it is old school Cinereelists week, it's time to play some old school Cinerealist games, or at least one, maybe two. We'll see where we're at.
Let's do it.
All right. Here's one we haven't played in a long time, Zach. How about Chain Reaction?
Oh, that is old school.
Do you remember this game?
I do.
Chain Reaction. According to the website, cinerealist.com, this is how you play Chain Reaction. One person says either a movie or a person. If they say a movie, the next person has to say an actor or director involved with that movie. Then the next person has to say another movie that they are in. We continue this until someone can't think of one. Then there's a little bit of fine print. We alternate who has to start on a movie or a person. And each time we play, we pick a different person or movie to begin with each time.
Okay.
We repeated the word each time for some reason in that sentence. It's only been a bad grammatical mistake on the website for probably 7 years now. But.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Let's do Chain Reaction.
Now hold on. Are we gonna play with the Will Ferrell rule variation? If you can't think of a name, but you can convince the person you're thinking of someone, do they count, or do you have to come up with a name?
I think we can do the Will Ferrell
Okay.
exemption on this one.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
If you can convince the other person you know who you're talking about, even if you don't know their name, then
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. That's great. It's called the Will Ferrell amendment because I could not think of Will Ferrell's name.
Sure. Definitely. I'll start.
Okay.
Turning Red.
Great. Okay, so I had to think of someone involved with Turning Red.
Mm-hmm. There should be at least one name. I mean, there's a really big name involved in this movie.
There is. Yeah, there is Sandra Oh.
Sideways.
Paul Giamatti.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay, Andrew Garfield.
All right. Tick, tick, boom.
Bad person. Tick, tick, boom with Andrew Garfield. Also starring nobody. Yeah.
Didn't we have a rule that the other person has to have a connection?
Oh, you have to be able to supply an answer as well. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Didn't we have that rule?
Yeah.
Like we made it later on so that you could box the other person in, but only if you knew the box out.
You have to
know how get
outplay
out.
them, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So if that rule's in effect, then I can't say Tick Tick Boom because I can't think of anything.
Let's
related
back
to
up
Tick, Tick,
then.
Boom. Okay. How about
I said Andrew Garfield.
all right, and now I'm going to say, does the Will Ferrell rule apply for the names of movies?
It does, yes.
Okay. That movie where Andrew Garfield was a soldier and he was on the hill, and
We Were
Hacksaw
Soldiers?
Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay, so he was in that with other people. That's the
Mhm.
idea, right? I don't remember who he's in that with.
Okay.
Hacksaw Ridge. I feel like it was like a Mel Gibson type or like a Ron Howard type. Hacksaw Ridge, directed by, I'll say, Ron Howard.
You think
Was it
Hacksaw Ridge was directed by Ron Howard?
Yeah, for some reason.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely
Who's he in that
not.
movie with? Who's he in that movie with?
He's not in it with any. Well, I mean, he's in it with the guy, Agent Smith from The Matrix. I forget his name. You know who
Okay.
I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. Hugo Weaving.
But that's not who I would have said. I would have said Mel Gibson, who directed Hacksaw Ridge.
I had that and then I switched to Ron Howard, didn't I?
For some reason, I sounded like you were thinking Mel Gibson was in the movie.
Yeah, because
He
I
wasn't in the
originally said
movie.
We Were Soldiers, and then I was like, well, that's obviously why I'm thinking of Mel Gibson.
Right. Yep.
Okay, 1 point
All
to
right.
James.
1 point to James. I'm marking it down.
Sweet. Okay, I'm going to start with the movie this time,
Okay.
and the movie I'm going to start with is Belfast.
Okay. Judi Dench.
Sure. yeah, she was in that. Okay, Shakespeare in Love.
Okay, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben Affleck was in that. The Last Duel.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, he was in that. He was in that for sure. Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I knew you were gonna do that. Okay. I can't say Ben Affleck, right? Because he's already been
Correct.
used.
Yes. You can't say Matt Damon.
Right. I feel like the easy one would be the therapist guy, the teacher.
Yeah, relatively unknown actor.
Right. But the hard one would be the love interest, whose name is Andy McDowell.
No, Andy McDowell could be his mom.
What's her name?
It's not Andy McDowell. You haven't convinced me you know her.
Okay,
I think it's
fine.
Andy McDowell.
It's not. What's her name? I know. I can picture her. Okay, I'll go with Robin Williams. Boring, but Robin Williams.
Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to go off Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's fine. Aladdin.
Oh, sure. Aladdin. Somebody else from Aladdin that's not Robin Williams is the parrot.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
Has a
That's a good
screechy
one.
voice. He's a stand-up comedian. He's short. He has a podcast called something. He's in the Aristocrats. I know who I'm talking about.
You're thinking of Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean you have a movie in mind that he's in?
Oh,
I think he's in Problem Child.
he is in Problem Child. Thank you for the assistance. Problem Child. That's my answer.
No, that's my answer. You don't have to come up with the movie. You said Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, now you're
I'm
saying Problem Child.
I'm saying Problem Child.
Sure.
Which, by the way, did you know that Problem Child 2 was partly filmed in Lou Gardens in
No.
Orlando?
I did not know that. Problem
FYI.
Child 2 was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Partly.
Sure. Problem Child is a movie starring John Ritter.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only name I could have come up with. Okay. John Ritter was in that movie where he's stuck on TV shows.
Okay.
You know, where the devil forces him to be on different TV channels.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember the name of it.
Stay Tuned. It's the name
Stay
of that
tuned.
movie.
Yeah.
And also in Stay Tuned, I believe what's that guy's name? He's a character actor. He also plays the principal on this is very old school Cinereelists. Neither of us can think of names. He plays the principal on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's the same guy, I believe, from Stay Tuned. Are we allowed to look these up if you're the person?
I can verify you.
Okay. Look up the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off and see if Stay Tuned is on his filmography.
I'm going to start at Stay Tuned because I know you're thinking of Jeffrey Jones.
Yes.
That's who you're thinking of.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of
So
Jeffrey
now
Jones.
we got to see if he was the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay. If he was, then not only do I get to move on, but you get to see Ferris Bueller's Day Off if you want, because I gave you the name of a movie that he's in.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I will go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
I could also have gone with Amadeus.
Oh, that would have stumped me, but it might have stumped you too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
And I will go with Matthew Broderick.
Okay. Lady Hawk.
You know another connection to Lady Hawk?
Yeah.
Is Princess Buttercup in Lady Hawk?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I think you might have me stumped. I don't think I have any other connection to Lady Hawk other than Matthew Broderick.
In my mind, this is going to decide a point one way or the other. Michelle Pfeiffer's in Lady Hawk.
You want me to look it up?
I'll look it up because either way, it's going to decide who gets the point.
Okay. I don't remember if she's in it or not. I don't remember that much of it.
Lady Hawk's directed by Richard Donner.
Oh.
With Michelle Pfeiffer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You win that one.
All right. That was hard fought. We're tied 1-1.
Okay. Let's go again.
You start with a movie.
All right. Let me
Also,
come up with
Alfred
a movie.
Molina's in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. How about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp with Michael Douglas.
I don't remember if he's in that.
Isn't he the dad?
Yeah, but I think he's gone by then.
I'm sure there's a flash. Don't they save him or find him in the quantum realm or something?
I think you might be right.
If you want, I can say more popular.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, Ant-Man's in that. Okay. This is his best friend. He's like the comic relief that's in a lot of things. Talks fast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I want to not just say the main character in Ant-Man, so I want to go with something else.
Do you remember the name of the main character in Ant-Man? I don't think you do.
James, I said I wanted to think of someone else, not the extremely well-known main character of Ant-Man. Right?
Yeah, that like one of your good friends is obsessed with, has seen every movie from this guy.
Yeah, of course I know his name. I'm trying to make this a more difficult game, James, than just going with the super obvious name of the main character in Ant-Man, who's obviously in lots of movies. So let's see, who else is it? Who's the bad guy in Ant-Man? Who's real evil in that movie? Michael Douglas, I think.
No.
He's not the bad guy in it.
In the first movie? I could tell you the name of the bad guy, but I'm not going to.
please don't. Is Iron Man in this movie?
In Ant-Man?
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't show up. He
I
doesn't.
don't-
Tony
I don't-
Stark doesn't pop in.
I don't believe so, no.
He doesn't get a mention.
Does it count if people are mentioned? I don't think
No.
so.
Absolutely not. Okay, I will go with the main character of Ant-Man. Everyone knows this guy, loves this guy. He doesn't age. He's been in lots of things. One of my best friends has seen every film he's ever been in.
Right.
So, are you convinced that I know who I'm talking about?
No. You've mentioned everything I said. Mention something I did not say.
Man. Well, I don't want to give away movies that he's in because then you'll be able to think of one.
Well, give me a TV show he's in then.
He's in TV shows?
Yeah.
What's he doing in TV shows?
He had a TV show on Netflix within the last.
Where he played his own twin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. I'll give it to you. You're thinking of Paul Rudd.
Of course.
I can't believe you couldn't think of that.
I didn't want to make it easy on you, James.
Sure.
Mr. Paul Rudd.
Sure. Mr. Paul Rudd. Trying to think of a Paul Rudd thing that I could get myself out of that you wouldn't be able to. Oh, there's a Christmas movie that you absolutely would not remember his co-host on. I remember the co-host, but I don't remember the name of the movie. So I will skip that one. How about yeah. I just keep thinking of things that I can't think of the name of the movies. But for the sake of time, I will
When we
say,
play this, our IQ drops by like 80 points.
For sure.
We become dumb
Absolutely.
piles of gelatin when we play this.
It's pretty humbling when you don't play it for a few years and then you try to play it again. No, I can absolutely think of movies. In fact, I'm going to give you one right now.
Please.
The 40-year-old virgin. Paul Rudd's in that.
He's in that?
Yeah. It's not a good guess because you're going to be able to get out of that, but he is in that.
Well, I'm definitely going to get out of that.
There are lots of people in that movie that you know.
Absolutely. Who do I want to go with? I'm going to go with the love interest because I think she is, I forget her name, but she's in a lot of indie movies and I like her a lot.
I'm going to need more than that. I'm going to need her name or a better description than that.
Okay. She has long brown hair.
No.
Kind of a monotone voice.
Doesn't.
What do we know?
Doesn't make me think you know who this person is.
But does she have long brown hair?
I don't really know who this person is. So you're going to have to convince me of who she is without saying her name.
It's Carolyn Keener.
Catherine Keener?
Yes, her.
You think it's Catherine Keener?
I do think it's Catherine Keener. Do you not think it's Catherine Keener?
I don't know. Let me double check you. Can I double check you or will that throw off? Because
I think I have to double check me.
Okay.
Because if I'm wrong, I lose. And if I'm right, we keep going.
You go with Catherine Keener. If you're right, then I'll come up with a movie that Catherine Keener was in.
Yeah. Which I definitely can think of one.
Oh, I just saw one like a week ago.
So well, now you're bragging.
I have one.
The love interest was Catherine Keener.
Okay, don't look at any other movies.
I don't need to.
Okay. Who was also in The Adam Project?
The Adam Project.
On Netflix.
She's in that?
Right now, yep.
Nice.
I think. Let me double check that. If I'm wrong, then you win.
Well, you just saw that last week.
I did. I just want to make sure that I'm correct.
Oh, sure. Okay.
She's absolutely in it.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
Ryan
Reynolds.
Yeah. That's the game.
Who was also in a movie?
Yep.
With
who?
some people in it.
Oh boy.
He was also in The Atom Project.
We already said the Adam Project.
Oh, I can't go back to a movie? I thought you could go back to a movie, just not a person.
Why?
Because I want you to name another person from The Atom Project.
No. But then you could immediately keep going back to the Adam Project forever.
Well, how
right?
many
'Cause
people could I dig myself out of The Atom Project? At least
that
one
becomes-
more, otherwise I wouldn't have gone
No,
back to
I
it.
get that, but that becomes a very different game. Then at any movie you think you get to that you know more cast members,
That's
that is
true.
just how many more cast members do I know?
All right.
Also, Ryan Reynolds has been in a few.
He's been in a few movies, I agree.
Yeah. Then you could always have an out. You're just like the same movie we talked about last time.
Sure. How about X-Men Origins Wolverine?
He's in that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hugh Jackman.
He's in that too. No, can't guess that. What else was Hugh Jackman in that I could dig myself out of if I had to? They're all like X-Men movies. I can feel it right now. X-Men Days Logan.
Patrick Stewart.
Who was in get ready for this one. Star Trek Nemesis.
Tom Hardy.
No. Star Trek Nemesis was in maybe he was. He was in one of those, wasn't he?
I think it's Star Trek Nemesis.
Who looks this up? You look it up?
If
Are
I'm
you
wrong,
sticking
I
with
lose,
that?
so I look it up, yeah.
Okay. If you're wrong, I still have to dig myself out of it.
But what if I'm right?
I'll be impressed. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Tom Hardy.
He was in it?
Yeah, he's the
Oh.
bad guy.
Is Eric Banana in it? He's in one of them.
He's not in this one.
All right. Well, it doesn't
You would
matter.
have had to go with LeVar Burton.
Yeah, I could have gotten there. Okay, so now we're at Tom Hardy,
Yeah.
which means I am going to pick what's the name of that movie? Where he's a boxer. You don't like the movie. He like owns a bar.
It's
with
a good
his
strategy to go with
What?
to
A
go with the
movie.
movie I don't like because I'm
Yeah,
more
yeah.
likely to not remember something.
I'm just not going to remember the title, and I'm not going to convince you of the title. Do you remember a movie where Tom Hardy owns a bar? He's a former boxer, but he doesn't really hit anybody, and then like organized crime shows up at his doorstep, and he has to fight back.
Is it the movie with Christian Bale?
No. So yeah, I'm not going to convince you.
I don't remember this movie then.
The Drop. I remembered the name of the movie. The Drop.
Ugh, The Drop.
Which I
you
can dig
should,
myself out of.
You should always go with a movie that I know nothing about because I know nothing about The Drop.
You've seen The Drop. You didn't like it.
Yeah, no, you should go to a movie that I don't like because I just will not remember why. The Drop with Tom Hardy.
And
Is he with Michelle Williams?
no, I don't think Michelle Williams is in that. You'll have to look it up. I want to say no that she's not in it. If she is,
Yeah.
she's a very small part of it.
Okay, she's not like the wife.
No.
Okay.
The wife does not have a strong presence in the movie, from what I remember. It's more about the two brothers. Not sure there's even
Who's
a wife.
who's the brother?
Are you giving up?
Yo, yeah.
Okay, James Gandolfini.
Okay. Who is it? Someone that I don't think about because I never watched The Sopranos.
That's why I thought I could get
Yeah.
you on that one.
That was good. Good job, James.
Okay, 3 rounds. I won. Best out of 3.
Nice.
Let's
Good job.
play one more quick game. 1 round of this game.
'Kay.
The game is, of course, an original Last Man Standing. We randomly pick a letter from the alphabet, then take turns naming movie titles that begin with that letter. First person to be unable to think of a movie loses.
'Kay.
The fine
And
print on
we
this
ignore
one.
A's and those, yeah.
Right. Ignore A's and thes. And you have roughly 10 seconds to think of an answer. Though how strict we are on that is flexible, according to the website.
Okay.
I think since I won the last game, it's only fair that you go first.
Okay. So do I pick a letter or do we pick a random letter?
I don't know. How do we pick a random letter?
Just Google random letter. I'm sure there's a random letter generator.
Let's just agree on a letter. Ready?
Okay.
You throw one out there. I'll tell you if I agree.
L.
L. How about something with more than like 5 movies attached to it?
All right.
How about
S.
Okay,
M.
S. We'll go with S.
All
S.
right. It's just gonna be a bunch of Star Wars movies and then Star Trek movies.
Well, you picked it,
Ugh.
not me.
I picked L.
How about L or S? We'll do both.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be either
L or S.
L or S.
Yeah. And if you think of a movie that is only LS or SL, you get to skip a turn.
Okay. The other person has to name 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could only have 2 words in it, LS or SL.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You go first.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Are we doing
Star Wars
exact
Return
title?
of the Jedi.
Okay. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Star Wars Episode, 4, 5, 6, 7. Star Wars 7.
No. You got to come up with the actual name of that movie.
Okay, 8, The Last Jedi.
Star Wars The Force Awakens is what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
The question is, can
Solo.
either of us remember the name of the 9th movie? Because that one came and went
Solo.
so fast. Solo, a Star Wars story?
No, yeah.
Okay. Star Trek.
Star Trek. The Search for Spock. Star Trek 2.
That's 3. But Star Trek 2,
Okay.
The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, that's 2. Star Trek Nemesis.
Star Trek Undiscovered Country.
Star Trek Generations.
Mm-hmm. Star Trek, the remake.
Star Trek Voyage Home.
Yeah, there is a movie called that.
Where they go to San Francisco and find whales.
Yeah, I remember. Star Trek. What are the new ones called? There's Star Trek remake. Then there's 2 others. Okay, I'm gonna give up on Star Trek, and I'm gonna say Superman.
Superman 2.
Superman 3. Now, Superman 4 has a subtitle. Has like a
Well, who cares? Superman Returns.
okay. Sure. 7.
Speed.
7 Psychopaths.
7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
That's a movie? Never even
Yeah.
heard of that. Sinister.
Okay, this is a potential contender for a double. You tell me if it counts as a double.
Okay.
Silence of the Lambs.
I thought they only had to have S's and L's.
Yeah, but those are negligible words.
That's true.
So you get to be the judge, James.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
And I'll say Sin City, A Dame to Kill For.
Nice. Sinbad.
Okay. Sinbad is a movie. And I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with Leprechaun.
Oh, because we can do L movies.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I forgot about L movies. Scarface.
Lincoln.
Lincoln Lawyer.
Sure. Um, uh, Lawless.
Scarface from the 1933.
Okay, I'll accept that. Um, Scary Movie.
Scary Movie starts with an S.
We're allowed S movies. Yes.
I'm just clarifying. Scary Movie 2.
Scary Movie 3.
There's probably more. Scream.
Scary Movie 4.
Scream 2.
Scream 3.
Scream 4.
Scream the remake.
Okay. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, we're getting into those. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Lord of the Ring, The Return of the King.
Right. Yep. Those are all movies. Lone Survivor.
Yep. Land Before Time 1.
Land Before Time 5 Goes West. No, those are different movies.
Those are not the same movie.
Land Before. Okay.
We're not going to know the subtitles on Land Before Time
yeah,
movies.
I'm not gonna know the subtitles, so I'll give up on those.
Land Before Time 5
Lions and Lambs, which that doubles, right? That's 2 L's, or does it have to be S and L?
L and S, yeah.
Okay.
The Limey.
Oh, that's a good one. Here's a double. Last Stand.
What's that?
Last Stand?
Yeah.
The documentary about a football team.
Okay. The Stand.
Uh-huh.
And
wait, there's no movie called The Stand.
There's not a made-for-TV movie called The Stand?
It's
about
not
the Stand?
a made-for-TV movie. No, it's a mini-series.
Okay.
It's like 8 hours long.
We're not accepting miniseries?
No.
Okay. Instead, I will say you threw me off my rhythm, James.
By not allowing a mini-series?
I will say Stand By Me and Saint. What is the name of that Bill Murray movie? Saint something. I'll jump off of that and go with Sliver.
Oh, that one. I have not thought of that one in a long time. You said Sliver.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Slither.
Oh, Slither. Nice. I'll say The Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus 2.
The Santa Claus 3.
There is 3 of them. I think there's maybe only 3. Son of Sam.
Nice. Serpico.
Son of Kong.
Son of Rambo.
Oh, I was going for that next. Come on now. Lamb.
Yeah. Last Man Standing.
Last. I guess I'm out. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I can't think of. Can you think of another one?
I can. It's all about being on a rhythm and being knocked off. Song of the South, Legally Blonde 1 and 2.
Yeah. Legally Blonde. I should have thought of that one. Yeah, we hadn't fully explored the L's for sure.
James, that was good. That was fun.
All right, Zach. I won Chain Reaction. You won Last Man Standing. Good game. Those are fun. Why don't we play those more often, Zach?
We should.
What's wrong with you?
And with Chain Reaction with 3 people, it'd be good because you're not always the movie or the person. It would switch.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah. But I like Last Man Standing a lot. You know, it's on the the Cinereelists app
It is. Yeah,
with
there's an
multiple
app.
categories.
If you're I forgot to mention this before we recorded. I meant to ask you about this. So I'm just going to spring it on you here. We'll cut it out if you're not up for it. And since we're probably going to watch it together, I don't know why you wouldn't. But if we hadn't mentioned it before, we're mentioning it now. We have a Discord, and next week, as we watch the Oscars, we will be in the Discord. So if you wanted to join the Cinerealist Discord and discuss the Oscars while it's happening with us, you should join the Discord and just chat away with us there. And
Sounds great.
There's
How
already
do people join?
Yeah, there's already a couple Patreon listeners in the Discord, and now we're inviting everybody to join it as well. The easiest way to join the Discord is to go to the notes of this episode of the podcast and click the Discord link. And if you don't have Discord, go get it. And if you do, it should just kind of pop you into our Discord chat room. I don't know what you'd even call them at this point. I guess you just call it a Discord. It'll pop you into our
Discord server.
Discord server, yes. And people are already in there. They're already popping in random links and showing off pictures of tattoos and all kinds of goofiness in the Discord. So if you want to hang out with other listeners, if you want to hang out with us, kind of away from social media and all your, if you don't want your family and friends to think you're weird, you can just put your weirdness in Discord. They'll never know about it unless we tell on you. So go check that out. And yeah, you're invited. You're also invited to find us on YouTube. You're invited to follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. You're invited to leave us an Apple Podcast review and also send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. You're also invited to follow us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, what else? Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there and on Discord. Link in the show notes. Join us for next week's Oscar telecast on Sunday night. Next week we'll be talking Drive My Car, and we will be recording that the day after the Oscars. So we will kind of do a little bit of an Oscar recap as well. So
yeah. Where can they find you online, James?
They can find me on Twitter or Letterboxd at YoJRB. Where can they find you, Zach?
They can find me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaubin.
Right. We will see you guys next week. Until then, keep it Cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.